Nothing
I
accidentally
got no
recorded.
earrings in. Oh, I gotta go put
You gotta go put your hoops in.
something, man.
You got the big hoops.
Why would I have big hoops?
Because you're a round-the-way girl.
I almost beat your ass. Almost beat
It's
your
on the beat,
ass.
make it boom.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. As always, I'm Alan Ford.
I'm Will Hill.
And today's episode is about the documentary Bloods and Crips. I don't know the full title of it, but we know it's about the Bloods and the Crips. Like Bloods and Crips, America's Nightmare.
It's an episode off the...
Yeah, episode off of Gangland that was located on National Geographic. The channel still exists, no? Or they just call it the Whole History Channel.
I remember when Gangland first dropped and everybody was trying to like, oh, when is it going to do a Chicago one? Like,
Did they do?
They did. And everybody was just trying to, I want to say, check the authenticity of it.
This was the hype of documentaries, though, because they used to release an hour, I want to say every Sunday.
Yeah, they dropped, they did.
And it should be it was Gangland, then American Gangsters.
Right.
And then, I think those was only two.
Yeah, the United States was obsessed with gang culture.
Yes, it was obsessed with it. So much obsessed with it.
Almost like prison culture.
Yes. They still are, technically.
Yeah, prison culture is wild.
Yeah, if you search for the right ones.
I mean, they kind of go hand in hand.
So this was about pretty much how they started in South Central.
They started off talking about the Crips.
Yeah, they started talking about the Crips. How it's more Crips than Bloods. The person who technically started the Crips, according to them, was Angelo Barefoot Pookie White.
Oh no, I thought they said the dude.
No, wait, no, not Angelo. My bad. Raymond Lee Washington.
Okay, don't.
I just wrote the other name down because gangsters be having the worst nicknames. the worst nicknames. Why they call him Barefoot Pookie?
That boy probably running outside one day with no shoes, and I was like, "Go put some shoes on, Pookie." He was like, "No, I like it like this."
Yeah.
Now he Barefoot Pookie,
and
like shoeless Joe Jackson. His shoe came off during one game.
Now, see, when I hear shoeless Joe Jackson, I'm thinking Joe Jackson was whooping the Jackson's ass with shoelaces. With shoes, he just throwing the shoes. That's why they call him shoeless Joe Jackson. Michael, get it together. Just throw a shoe at him. Yeah, but he found it with Angelo, okay? Raymond Lee Washington. He didn't even have a nickname. They just called him Raymond Lee Washington.
The whole time.
His name sound like he assassinate presidents.
Right.
Don't it?
Like they put his whole name the whole entire time. I'm like, okay.
And it was like the late 60s, early 70s. I want to say late 60s, early 70s. They found this shit as teenagers.
That's how most like street gangs always start.
Yeah, but they
not adults.
They wasn't really like street gangs. They were more like, have you ever seen the Warriors? Mm-hmm. They were like that.
Yeah, it was neighborhood cliques.
Yeah, because they like what it is now. Ain't no real gangs now. They're like, they started off as cliques, but when you get colors, now you a gang.
Yeah, no, it started off as cliques. Then they united. It was like, we could just protect the neighborhood, which, some of the old heads would tell you that's the original reason gangs even popped up. Protect the neighborhood from people coming in and fucking shit up. The white man. They
got inspired by, I like how the narrator is pretty much making me laugh. He said they got inspired by the Black Panther Party, who was against the pigs, which the pigs are formerly known as cops. It's like, nigga, we know that.
Yeah, you know what?
You didn't have to say pigs like that.
What year did this air?
This documentary era?
Yeah.
Had to be like mid 2000s.
It was
late 2000s.
You're right. The narration made it seem like it was for white people.
Right.
White people who've never heard of a gang in their life. Like middle of Oklahoma white person. Oh, okay. Like, what is a pig? And he was like, this is what a pig is. It's like, but you gotta think about that's what most of America is. So
it's white?
Yeah. People living in these middle countries. Like,
it's true.
Yeah, the big cities are populated, but they're diverse. But there's cities where a black person has not lived in a very long time, if ever.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta realize that this is who they doing the doc for. But yeah, he was the most simplest. The most simplest.
They started brawling and all that stuff. They were like brawl. They started wearing leather jackets.
I mean, because it was an offshoot of the Black Panthers.
Yes.
Like they looked, I ain't gonna say looked up to him, but the way they united and resisted inspired them to do the same. Right. That was the only real leadership that they had in the neighborhoods, but they were not a gang. Black Panthers was not a gang.
Not a gang.
It was all about the community. You know what I'm saying? Like
it still is. They still are.
So yeah, that's why they mimic how they moved after them.
Right, but they didn't mimic it completely because they were cripping out here. Apparently, according to them, cripping meant, are you ready to rob? You ready to go do whatever it takes to
pillage
get this money?
That man said pillage.
Yeah, pillage. He used that big ass word, pillage.
Pillage not a
I had
big
to
word.
look that up.
I'm sure you did.
Yep. I still don't understand it. I did. I really did.
I'm sure. I was not joking.
Yeah, we be out here cripping. I ain't cripping. That sound. That could be a double meaning.
It wasn't even Crips at first, according to this.
They wasn't Crips at first.
It's Cribs.
Cribs.
Right.
Like CRIB?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Did you miss that?
I thought you said Crip the whole time.
No. It was Cribs because they were young.
Oh yeah, because
Kids.
Yeah, they were like
babies.
teenagers. Niggas getting expelled from school.
Babies.
Yeah.
And they didn't. Again, all this is according to this doc. They didn't adopt the name Crips. They was walking with a weapon, like a tire iron or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I forgot the exact name. I was not fully paying attention.
If you ever see the Beat It video, like that.
Yeah, and they was walking with the weapon, which looked like a cane, and somehow or another turned to Crips.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
But
you know, people just needed something to be a part of. You know, a lot of them have fathers. They just need some shit to be a part of. The Crips started growing. They started growing street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood.
It's called unite. That's what happens when you unite.
Yeah. Then by 1972, there were six Crip gangs in L.A. Six of them.
Mm-hmm.
Six of them.
Six different sets.
Six different sets. They expanded out. And then comes T. Rogers. That's what's his name. His name was T. Rogers. He was the founder of the Black Pea Stone Bloods. Yes, they call them Black Pea Stone Bloods. They had two colors.
It said Pea Stones.
No, it said Black Pea Stone.
P, like the letter P.
Pea Stones.
Yeah,
Black Pea Stones though. Bloods. They had two colors.
I thought they weren't Bloods at first. Whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, they changed themselves to Bloods. They got red and more blood.
Oh, go ahead.
Crips. Yeah, okay. They had red and more Bloods. Then
Right. No, I thought they said the Bloods didn't like. The Bloods formed in opposition to the Crips because they was coming over their neighborhood, robbing people, just being hoodlums.
Yep, I missed that. Okay, you're right.
And so
you're right.
They was like, yo, we got to keep them out of our neighborhood. Like, we don't care what y'all doing, y'all stuff, keep that over there. They wouldn't listen. So it was like, all right, we got to come together, all the little cliques of the neighborhoods. Like, we got to come together and, stop them from coming over here. And that's pretty much where the rivalry started.
Yes.
They was trying to keep them from tearing up their neighborhood, and they was trying to just protect theirs. And then the dude with the Kool-Aid house.
T. Rogers.
T. Rogers.
Yes.
T. Rogers' mama didn't give a fuck.
He called it the Kool-Aid house.
T. Rogers' mama didn't give a fuck.
What a name for a house, though.
T. Rogers' mama didn't give a fuck.
You think they drank Kool-Aid, though?
Probably.
What happened if they called it Kool-Aid house and they just drank water?
No, I'm pretty sure they drank Kool-Aid.
They drank Kool-Aid.
I just can't stress enough how T. Rogers' mama didn't give a fuck.
They
were kids, and his house was to kick your house. The girls would come over there and talk girl stuff, and all the guys would come hang out, and that's why her house, the first one of the first shootout.
He said they're bots to live with.
Yeah, they was fighting.
In the yard. How big is his house?
Mama did not care. They did everything in her house. We all know that one person though, who parents don't care. We all kicked it at their house.
Yes, the Bloods were outnumbered by the Crips. And so they introduced weapons because they used to rumble. It was on site. It was on site.
Yeah, they go to parties.
On
Dance
site.
a little bit,
you see red, I'm fighting that nigga. You see blue, I'm fighting that nigga. It was everywhere. Parties, bar mitzvahs, funerals, they fighting everywhere. At the market, imagine you and blue and you going to the grocery store just to get some bananas.
What bar mitzvah ever do you think there was enough black people for it to be rival Crips and Bloods.
Niggas pop up everywhere.
No,
we
not
like black
bar mitzvahs.
jelly beans. We pop
not
up
bar
everywhere.
Mitzvahs. Not bar mitzvahs.
You don't know that?
There's a few, but they ain't banging.
You don't know that?
I can almost guarantee it.
Weddings.
Okay, that's fine. I'm talking about bar mitzvahs.
They could pop up at bar mitzvahs.
No,
they could be like, "Opa, I'm gonna whoop your ass," just like that.
That's Greek.
Oh shit! But the Bloods were getting outnumbered by the Crips because it was more Crips than Bloods, and the Bloods decided to introduce guns into the midst.
Like, well, it didn't start off with guns. It just started off with just carrying weapons.
You think one of them had a sword?
No,
they never said the weapon. So you just
it was like sticks and stuff, like some pipe. The Warriors type shit.
Nigga with
whatever.
Nigga with nunchucks. That's hilarious. Right?
I wouldn't be surprised. It was whatever they can get their hands on.
Yeah, because karate movies were a big thing too. So they were just nunchucks, pretending to do just swinging them the whole time. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it was whatever they get their hands on.
My bad. None bucks, because they can't say the C.
Oh my god.
None bucks. When did they start doing that?
I don't know.
You had to be a hardcore gangster to do that.
Just take out a whole letter of your alphabet.
Don't even A B B D E L G.
Would you just skip it, or you gonna put B again?
No, I think they said B. Would you put A B B A B?
Well, yeah, if they replace C's with B's. Well, maybe.
And then the Crips would be A C D A C D E. Okay, they probably do that.
Yeah, you're going too far with this.
Yeah, that's too late. They do that though.
We don't know that. I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I don't know any Crips.
I can't confirm that.
Don't know any Crips. But then Washington went to jail in 1974. It became the illusion with the gang.
Disillusion.
Well, I said my one word wrong. He became disillusioned by the gang. And what does that mean?
He no longer, his vision is no longer aligned with theirs.
Yes, because then these motherfuckers start killing each other.
Right. I mean, anything without lack of leadership, as we've shown in the black community time and time again, you take leadership away. Not even just the black community. They do that when they overthrow regimes. You take the leader away, there is a power vacuum.
Right.
People are quickly trying to fill that void of leadership, but there was no real leaders left to take the void. So there's a bunch of infighting because at the end of the day, whoever the strongest ended up on top.
Right.
So you have to prove the strength at all times.
Don't want to make this mean racist, but you let the monkeys run the zoo. Don't want to make that be racist.
Well, no, it's not racist.
Okay, cool.
I mean, because the same thing what happened with the Italian mobs.
The inmates ran the asylum. That's better.
Yeah, same thing happened with the mobs. They took away their heads, and there was a bunch of infighting because people wanted to be top dog. So,
and before the Crips turned on each other, the first drive-by was committed by the Crips, according to them, according to the doc.
Yeah, they was like robbing people's houses, taking guns and stuff.
Yeah. It was committed by the Crips, by T. Ray. In front of the Kool-Aid house. Let's just call it the Kool-Aid house.
Yeah.
That's a cool name for a trap spot. I ain't gonna lie.
They weren't even trapping. It was just a bunch of kids hanging out.
Yeah, they didn't sell drugs late.
To the crack era.
Yeah, to the crack era. That's when the money started rolling in.
And it changed the way gangs.
What? Yeah, how much were they robbing these people for back then? Because in the 70s, like a cheeseburger was like 10 cents.
Yeah, man, if you had $1, you was baller. They took that.
You can buy a house with $5. No, you can't buy no house for $5. I say we'll buy like $1,000. You can get a house.
I don't know.
Back then, you could probably get a house there. But yeah, how was they making money? Was they making money?
No, that's why they was always fighting.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, nothing else to do.
Them niggas rumbling.
Yeah, fisticuffs all day.
Right
Put them
here.
up.
Come on.
Put them up. Bring it on, buddy.
Yeah, beat them. Yeah, they all punch like this in the 70s. Yeah.
Nah, they all fought like Kimbo Slice.
Don't make me cut you, man. That's how they talk.
You sound like a blaxploitation movie.
That's how they talk. Don't make me cut you, man. I'll cut you. That's how they talk. Yeah, they all had knives. You know, somebody had that one pocket knife. They flip it out.
Right.
Yeah.
But everybody else use their fist.
Yeah.
Because you live.
You
live to fight another day.
Then guns got involved. Well, it was easy to get guns for some reason.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. At first, they had to go to people's houses. Whoever had the money to get guns, they was breaking into their house stealing their guns. Because there was no registration.
When do you steal the money, though?
It depends on what you probably stole the money and the gun. Why would you go in there and not take all that you can?
Gang culture makes no sense.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's just stupid.
You need a gun. You can't buy one. I know he got one. I'm going in there to get the gun.
Right. And then do you go back to the same house to get the money?
You probably got it both at the same time. Why would you not?
Gang banging, man.
Stop.
Washington when he died. Yeah, he died.
Who?
Washington.
He got out though.
And died.
Right,
because he broke his own own rule.
Don't walk up to cars.
And he walked up to a car and got shot because he thought he knew the person. Because he thought he knew the person, and they shot his ass, sawed off, and I can only imagine how that must have
felt.
He felt it all right. He went flying. He like off Django when he
that's
shot.
fake, right?
Huh?
People don't go flying when you get shot with a sawed off.
Well, we gotta sell the illusion. So
sell the illusion.
So on
it's
Django
physics.
when he say goodbye to Miss Millie and he shot her and she went flying. That's what happened to Washington.
That's not.
He went flying.
It's not.
I mean, he was close though. If he was close, I think he went flying.
It's physics.
Physics? You bringing science into this?
Yeah.
We ain't talking about physics. We talking about a game.
You are if you talk about he went flying back, then the person who shot the gun would also have to go both flying back.
No, if he was sitting there. Anyway, so yes. So between 1972 and 1974, the murders doubled. So they went from like 32 to about 64. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot in 2 years. Yeah. And then when the Crips started turning on each other, everything went chaotic. Then the crack era came. Yada yada yada.
Flipped the game. The crack era flipped the game though, because they was no longer really just murdering each other. Everybody's making money. Yep. They were saying like, kid, I don't know how there's not a lot more millionaires from the crack era. Like I understand the feds seized a lot of the money from these big drug dealers, but they were saying those kids out here 13, 14 making what their parents made in a whole year in a week.
That's crazy. That's insane.
That's dumb crazy. Because
imagine you clocking in and go to work, then you leave to sell crack one day, and you made your whole year's salary.
The whole year's salary in a week, man. Like, mama, why you want to work? But then they say a lot of their parents turn to their number one users.
Yeah, I can see that too. Because then you have it in the house, your mom find it. Ooh, what's this? Ooh.
What's this? They did say why people call it crack. I never knew that.
Why did they say that?
Because the sound it make when they smoke it, it's a crackling sound.
Yep. Oh.
That's what, according to them.
Yeah, they went from cocaine to crack. And as soon as they got that, oh yeah, this is getting interesting.
Well, the black neighborhoods never had cocaine.
No.
It was crack.
Yeah.
Cocaine was for rich people.
Yeah, no, let's call it what it is. Cocaine was white people.
It cost more. It was for rich people.
Yeah. Yeah, it was they said like
that's why Whitney Houston said, I never did crack. I got class.
Yeah, she got cocaine out of a pen from a fan. Bobby Brown did crack.
Anyway,
I got class. I did cocaine, not crack. No, she did crack too.
No, go ahead. Come on.
It's always a motherfucker who, if you lied about doing crack, you did crack. That's pretty much what happens. That's how it goes.
How do you decipher that? Who's telling the truth or lying about crack?
Would you lie about doing crack?
I think a crackhead is going to lie about doing crack.
There you go.
Right, but a person you accuse of doing crack who doesn't know crack, they gonna say they don't do crack. And you're like, oh, you're a liar.
Yeah,
because
you smoke crack.
Anyway,
you smoke crack. You just don't try crack.
Your mama smoked crack.
This is the first time drugs got talked about in the 80s. No Freeway Rick Ross. We gonna throw that out there. Freeway Rick Ross did not get brought up at all.
It wasn't about drugs.
Normally,
we said this before. If you go talk about drugs,
you gotta talk.
You gotta talk to Freeway Rick Ross.
And they did not talk.
If you don't talk about him, your drug doc is invalid.
It's not accurate. They did not talk to him, so we don't know if they really sold crack like that.
They did. We know they did.
Yeah. They did. But then, a lot of these gang leaders, they turned into activists.
Or crackheads.
Yeah. Yeah. But
crack took out a lot of people.
Yeah.
Took out a lot of people.
A lot of people, a lot of their teeth, all of it. Crack normally hits the teeth first.
The police officers were saying how during the crack era, they started seeing gangbangers in Hollywood instead of like just in Compton and stuff like that. Because they had the money. People was talking to them. They was going on. Oh, they went skiing to Aspen. I'm like, blood skiing?
Bloods and Crips out here skiing. They
got the money.
Skiing, throwing up gang signs in their gloves. They know it's cold out there.
Because they got the money now.
Crip walking on the slopes.
That's crazy. Who thought these niggas had a ski?
They saw Scarface. I'm telling you what Scarface.
No, they lived that life.
They lived their life.
No, that crack. No, they lived that life. Scarface, they got nothing on the real kingpin. Oh yeah, that crack stuff.
Bloods out here on the slopes. That was funny.
On the slopes.
I don't like when they talk to these cops who like work in the 80s. They sound like they did it all, like stopped everybody. No, you fucking didn't. You was probably behind a desk most of the time. They didn't even want to go outside. 3 of them,
they probably was on the street.
You think because like super the one, arrogant.
Was the mayor? Was the mayor or superintendent? Whatever.
Superintendent.
Did the Operation Hammer or whatever, and they was locking up everybody indiscriminately.
Yep.
Even if you wasn't part of the gang, like everybody going to jail, and I feel like they tried to ease over that as if that was not a problem. Like the one dude did say it ruined the relationship, cop and citizens, because on one hand people was happy the drug dealer was off, the gangbang was off the streets, but at the same time, the cousin who was just there is also being persecuted as a gangbanger. It's like, all right, come on, man, find y'all line, and they couldn't. They really couldn't. It was very indiscriminatory, and just because you was black outside, you was considered a gangbanger.
Right. Yeah. So just end this doc to wrap it all up. At the end, the Bloods and Crips, they came to a reason. They not really fighting each other like that no more.
You sure?
I'm positive. I haven't heard any Bloods and Crip violence lately.
Why would we hear it? We don't have Bloods and Crips here.
I mean, just world news. You don't watch the world news?
Yeah, but stuff like that stays local.
Do it?
I mean, the only thing that really travels is mass shootings.
I don't even think gangs exist anymore.
Not for real, for real.
People just got clicks and they all just clear themselves to be in a gang. Like, no, nigga, you ain't. I remember gangbangers, okay?
There's no hierarchy.
There's not.
There's no leadership.
I remember
when the oldest dude in your gang is 18.
Motherfuckers don't even
call
remember
it 18 an OG, bro. Like,
motherfuckers wearing brown and yellow, talking about GD. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
people don't wear colors no more. It makes you stand out. It's stupid.
So then, I remember you couldn't even wear your hat a certain way.
It was.
I remember when gangbanging was gangbanging. I wasn't no gangbanger. I just saw the shit. I remember it. I know you remember it too.
You sound real old right now.
No, I mean you can't say you just you try not to say you remember it like I was saying it.
I do, but
listening to it now, I do.
We're saying that it's not that no more.
It's not that big. It's not even cool. It was never cool, but it's not a thing anymore. So, what would you rate it?
1.
Okay, cool. Because he barely watched it.
I didn't care. Yeah. It was dated. You could tell it was dated. Yeah. There was no new information to be gained from this at all. I think there was a lot of misinformation in it. I felt like this documentary painted black gangbangers as like these mindless killing machines, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't like it. Yeah,
they just I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say a 1, 2. Mainly because it was dated. 2, they didn't talk about Tukey. 3, they didn't really talk about the real founder of the Bloods. I don't think it was T. Rogers. I don't think it was him. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 1. But when it came out before, it was the shit.
Yeah, but it was the time. I don't think across the nation people really had this integral knowledge of gangs.
So by far, this one wins the award, and I'm gonna put a graphic up called "The Worst Documentary We Have Watched." I'm gonna put it right. The worst documentary we have watched.
We gotta define documentary. This is an episode off a TV.
The
show.
Worst episode of a documentary we have watched.
Well, I guess it is technically classified as a documentary.
It is.
Okay. So.
Yeah, because it's hard to classify as a documentary nowadays.
I mean, it's whatever genre they place the media out as.
All right.
This was placed out as a documentary.
Well, this concludes this episode. Let's talk about it. As always, follow us on Instagram at LDAI Pod 22. Like us on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook at Let's Talk About It. Follow me, Alan Ford, on all social media at Ford of Comedy.
You can follow me everywhere. Simply just Will. Thank God.
It's on the beat, make it boom.